Young people, welcome back. B in the house, y'all. We got a quick one, guys, and I'm loving it. Let's see what we got. Chapter 9, Lesson 3, Transformation of Quadratic Functions. Objective 1, apply transformations to quadratic functions. Objective 2, apply dilations and reflections to quadratic functions. So, wow, much easier than you think, guys. So, concept is still quadratics. Skill, I would have to say identify, because we're not graphing, we're not solving, we're not writing. We'll be identifying some things. So, yeah, let's get this thing started. Look at that handout, 13. And guess what? It's gonna be a quick 13. And transformation, first thing I'll say is, hey, Optimus Prime, transform, just, right? So it's gonna transform from being a regular old U to a very special U, like a really fat U, a really skinny U. The U moves up, the U moves down. It just doesn't stay in its parent function. X squared is a perfect U starting at 0, 0. Well, that's not what these are. And so, as I say all that, you see, describe how the graph of each function is related to the graph of f of x is equal to x squared, which would be the parent function. So, I love the internet. Wanna know why? Because you can find beautiful things like this. So guys, this is gonna be my magic tool today. This magic tool is going to do the work for me. It's going to tell me whether the answer is a vertical stretch, horizontal translation is basically, and the whole handout, I will print that out, make my kids do it in class, but we're just going to take this middle part because that's all we're going to need. So expand it, move it, break it down. So the graph of y equals x squared, which is the same as what they have there, right? Except they're replacing y with f of x, the function of x. So that's what you would call a quadratic equation, y equals x squared versus a quadratic function, right? F of x equals x squared. But all that to say they're the same, but when they start adding to it, so you see the parentheses, right? It's just not x squared, well, it's x minus d all squared. Well, that d moves it. So that's why if there's no d, then d would be 0. It's not moving. Same thing for c, right? So as I highlight and show +2, well, there's the +2. There is no d. The a is invisible 1, so that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at g of x or f of x, whatever you want to call it, right? It's going to move up 2. Vertical translation. Vertical, my vert was like 40 inches. All right, that was funny. I had lead feet, but I'll run you over. So, +2 means it's going to move up 2, right? And that's it for that. There's nothing else going on. There's nothing in front of it, nothing behind it. So in this one, you see nothing in front of it. It says parentheses and x minus 1 all squared. So there's that d, right? So what does that mean? It's negative to the right. Okay, move to the right one. So if you were to graph it, it would be off of 0, 0 to the right 1. Fill her in, right? Move, because again, translating meaning it's moving, it's transforming, it's doing something. How is it moving? How is it transforming? Well, it's moving down. Did I say right? Down, I'm sorry. Horizontal translation. Yeah, that should be to the right, guys. I wrote it down, but it should be right. No biggie. Here we go now. Vertical, because again, if you recognize right there, horizontal translation, horizontal means side to side. How much does it move to the right? How much does it move to the left? And then of course the vertical translation of C there, that's referring to how much it goes up and how much it goes down, right? So that's why for number 1, it said move up. For number 2, I got stuck in the sauce, right? So just put it down again, whereas a little like left to right. So don't do that. But for number 3, just down 8 because it's a negative 8. All right, guys, just cleaning it all up so that we can do it all again, right? So really quick for 1, 2, and 3, you notice you had your x squared for 1 and 3. but number 2 actually did have the B, or it had a value inside of the parentheses. So for 4, again, as we get everything where we need it, all I see is 7x squared. No parentheses, no pluses, no minus, just a coefficient that's there. So what does that coefficient mean? Well, looking at that beautiful graphic organizer that we pulled in, A, what does A mean? It's making it stretch or compress. So if I stretch, well, we get bigger, right? Stretches out. So the U gets bigger. The U stretches out. Whereas compress, we get a little smaller, right? So stretch and compress. But read it out. A has to be greater than 1, or A is less than 1, or, of course, reflection of the axis, A would be 7. Don't worry about that one. So 7 is greater or less than? Very good. Greater than. So a vertical stretch. The absolute value of A, so whether it was positive 7 or negative 7, A, 7 now, is greater than 1. Now the next one, the coefficient is 1/5. Now this is where, again, fractions will kill any kid that never enjoyed it. Right there it says 0 less than the absolute value A less than 1. So in other words, between 0 and 1. What numbers are between 0 and 1? Fractions. 1/2, 1/3, 2/5, right? So they're saying if it's a fraction, it will be a vertical compression. So again, you have a regular old U. What happens if you have the U and then you just start squeezing it in, right? Well, that's what's happening when it's a fraction. It's fun. If you get on Desnos, and I'll play with this, you'll see. All right, number 6. There it is, right? Negative 6x squared. It is definitely a negative. So that is less than 0. So reflective of the x-axis. So we had all 3, guys. We had where A was greater than 1, absolute value A was greater than 1, and we had when it was a fraction, and now we had it when it was less than, right? So that's the coefficient of your leading term. Again, I would not expect a kid to do this without this little cheat sheet. And if you can do it without the cheat sheet, you are outstanding because you've memorized the rules for the translation of a quadratic function. You would be able to look at it and go, oh, that one moves up 2. That one goes to the left 4. Oh, it's going to be compressed. So having that just makes you that much better at doing your algebra, right? So here we go. We got a +3, so that's my C, remember? We got a -1, so that's going to be reflection. So 2 things are going on. Boom, box it. And what else is going on? Boom, box it. So there we go. Those are the 2 things that are going to make my function transform. And then when it transforms, I got it, right? So for number 8, 8's my curveball. Well, let's finish 7. 7, reflective of the x-axis. And what else is going on? Because that's not the only thing. We also have a +3 after the x squared. So since +3, it's going to move it. So with it moving, move up because it's positive. And now we can talk about 8. Now 8 already has the curveball. If I read it, g of x is equal to 5 minus 1/5 x squared. Standard form, standard form, standard form. Meaning don't do it unless it's in standard form. I want the first term to be my square, my second degree. So -1/5 x squared plus 5. So again, we're making it match the parent form. And again, what do I see? I see a C. I'll say it again. What do I see? I see a C. So the +C or the +5 here tells me how it transforms, right? How it's going to move. Again, being a positive, go ahead and move that bad boy up 5. But having the -1/5, again, what is that telling me? Well, let's get a little indicator. Well, some little hint, there we go. Boxed it. I thought I was going to highlight the A like I circled it or something. I guess I didn't. But it's going to be reflective of the, excuse me, x-axis. And since it is negative, guys, it is negative, right? And it's a fraction, so it's between 0 and 1, right? So, again, using nothing more than this cheat sheet. If I didn't have the cheat sheet, I wouldn't be doing this well, right? I would have to memorize this stuff. So, moving on to number 9, moving on to number 9. Gotta clear some stuff out so we can do it again. What do I see? I see a 4 in front, that's the A. What's the A telling me? Well, is it a vertical stretch? Is it a vertical compression? Or is it reflection? Well, right there, greater than A. Greater than A. Greater than 1. You guys are with me. Inside of the parentheses, X minus 1. So right there, move it to the right, minus, right? And of course, there's no plus C on the end, so we're good. Filling it in, getting it done, guys. 7, 8, 9. So as I start off again, guys, another quick video because we're not graphing, we're not solving. We're looking at a quadratic function and we're telling us, or it's telling us something. It's telling us how it's moving, up, left, right, down, and whether it's compressing or stretching, right? And we're using this formula, f of x is equal to a parentheses x minus d all squared plus c to determine what is happening to that. So let's do a few more and get on out of here, guys. Make some room, clean it up. And I better not get rid of this because I think I'm gonna need it. But you never know. So getting rid of the marks, so we need a freshie. Looks like a fresh new one, right? And here we go. Match each equation to its graph. Are you kidding me? I just gotta match. I was gonna say 10 is A, 11 is B, 12 is C. I have to match them using my brain. So which ones are going up? Which ones are going down? So A is a negative and C is negative. Why? Because they're going down, right? That's what we were just talking about. So which one of these? You know, 10, 11, 12, or 13, you can state is an upside down U. Which ones have a leading coefficient that is, you got it, negative, right? And what else do we know? Well, there it is. 1/2. That's compression. No, not worried about compression right now. But there's 2 of them that are fractions, 11 and 12. One of them's positive, one of them's negative. And then the plus C, right? So with the plus C, one of them says -2, the other one says -2, and another one is +2 and +2. So number 11, again, compressed to make the U skinnier, right? And it moved down 2. Number 10, well, again, move down 2. Since it's a positive, greater than, it stretches the U out. Stretches the U out. That's why it's a fatter U, right? D is 10. Then, of course, I already knew 12 and 13 with the negative in front is going to be upside down. But which one is going to be a skinny U? Which one is going to be a fat U? You keep eating them donuts, it's going to be a fat U. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. But make sure you're working out, take care of your body, get one temple. With that said, thanks for watching, guys. DMB.